Hi guys, welcome to Fierce and Pretty. Honey here. I wanted to try something a bit special to be able to connect with my two new decks, the Weaver's Oracle and then the Ancestral Path Tarot. And I saw James Feeney in Lemniscate Logic do one of his great spreads, an inner archetype spread. And I don't have an archetype tarot deck or anything, just an archetype deck. So I thought maybe the Weaver's Oracle could work with this. And because I like the visually how the Weaver's Oracle and the Ancestral Path Tarot look together. I like that the sizes match, and I like that the mood, the darker colors, that they do match. So I thought that maybe these would be decks that could work together. And I also wanted to find a way to work with this Weaver's Oracle, which is a bit challenging to me. So here is James's inner archetype spread. And the placing where I'm going to use the Weaver's Oracle is the current archetype present, the first card on the top. But then in this spread we go through a positive manifestation of this archetype through me, and then in the middle the negative archetype of that archetype through me, and the last card, how I can work with this archetype in my life in a helpful way. I have never worked much with oracle decks, and if I do work with oracles normally, they are decks where you have the message written in the card. So for me, getting the Weaver's Oracle is a bit of a challenge, and I saw it in some video. I'll try to find the video. For now, I can't remember by who it was. It was a past life reading, and it was great and really helpful. But I'll have to link the channel because I've watched so many videos, so I'll link it down below. But that was where I got the inspiration, also combining these two decks together after I received these decks. I know some people are really handy with oracles and get much out of them, but for me this is a new thing to learn. But let's get on with the spread now. And for the first position we got the Nomad card, and it's number 30, and she belongs into the Bone Clan and East Weavers. And this book that comes with the deck is, at least for me, in trying to figure out what this archetype of nomad means to me, I'm turning to the guidebook, and I'm just gonna read you bits and pieces that caught my eye about the Nomad card. In the section of Tribe of East Weavers, it says the East Weavers are all connected by their relationship to new light, first fires, dawn air, starting the cycle, beginning a journey, threshold into things, young spirits, and so on. But the first word that caught my eye was the beginning a journey here in the Tribe of East Weavers. And then jumping into the actual Nomad card about her braid section, the guidebook says, a traveling woman is beautifully bound to the ancient rhythms of the seasons when she wears a delicately crafted fish girdle. She winds the fist leather around her hips and belly so she might inhabit the spirit of the great migration dance. Inside the girdle, she learns how to survive the turbulent oceans that pull her far away from protecting streams. The girdle teaches her how to swim at the edges of those vast circles of motion, how to endure no matter the distances and difficulties of her journey. The fist girdle reminds the traveling woman that her timing is perfect, for when she is done, she will know a yearning in her soul and to turn back at last toward her home. And in the In her cloth section, it says, "It is easy for us to locate the nomad on the ice with her rattling sled and puffing dogs, but it's difficult to keep up with her when she speeds next to our trail and out across the frozen lake. She is forever sent into the cycle of her long migration, and our only chance of catching her is by leaping, with great risk to both our limbs and pride, onto her passing sled. Once we are clinging on beside her, she is content to speak quietly to us of freedom and life of and of a life lived outside the boundaries of the world. At least we know that in our nomadic souls, each one of us is both the changer and the changed. So strong our yearning to shape shift our journey, so pressing our desire to follow hidden rivers to the wide and open sea. And so for me, the archetype of nomad is about my spiritual journey that has been a big surprise to me when it started. And I think we're about to explore that, my journey, and me changing during this journey. So let's check the first card, the positive manifestation of this archetype in my life. And so we got from the Ancestral Path Tarot the Ten of Swords. And yes, change can be positive. It was necessary for me to change and go on to this journey and see the old chapter in my life end, to be able to start something new. So that was a positive change that the Ten of Swords is showing here. And then after the positive aspect, then go to the negative manifestation. And so here we got the Prince of Cups, and he's riding on his white horse. It's funny how he's leaving the darkness behind there, and walking towards the light. Even his hair looks a bit like mine. But this being in the negative part, I guess it's more about me trying to ignore some of the negative and darker aspects sometimes, and like hiding my head like an ostrich. And because the change also brings the negative in the Ten of Swords. Well, then let's check, how can I work with this archetype of nomad best. And we got the Hierophant card. Okay, so that's really interesting. A fitting card for this journey. No, journey towards the Hierophant, including also other people here in the card. It's showing giving, it's showing receiving, and maybe talking about traveling to places also physically while on my spiritual journey, and meeting these teachers who can teach me things and help me grow. And like in the Nomad card, where she was traveling and ever changing and going on a fast speed until at last she was turned back towards home. So that's kind of interesting. Well, at least I see here a clear journey from transformation in the Ten of Swords, something ending, starting a new cycle with the Prince of Cups, maybe being overly emotional on my journey, because me being a strong Scorpio, the emotions sometimes tend to go a bit high up or a bit down low. And I recognize that part in the Prince also, me sometimes trying to not look at the darker things so much and turn my face towards the light. But I think it's also an important reminder here on my nomad journey to also see the darkness and face the darkness bravely during this journey. So I think that might be on the negative that could be turned into more positive. And I think the Hierophant being the end of this journey is actually really, really beautiful image. And already I have, even my journey's only started, but I've encountered people who have been able to teach me so much. And I believe that when the skies open up again and the world is ours to explore, that I will continue meeting different people. And I don't know, it would be amazing to go to Lapland again and meet an actual shaman, and sit down and learn about the ancient Finnish religions and everything. So I think that it is a long journey, and like the nomad, she's an old lady already there with her fish girdle, and she's gone through these swords and riding like the prince, trying to run away from the thunderstorms with her beautiful white horse, and then finding the sanctuary in the Hierophant's temple between those pillars, and then she can peacefully return to her home. And by then she's already an old lady. So I think this spread kind of took me on a long journey, and talking about, to me at least, that I should give myself time and allow things to evolve naturally, and learn from other people. And maybe at one point also, when I've learned also to be able to give to other people, not only receiving but also giving. So that would be the helpful way of giving something about this nomad journey of mine to others, and to utilize all that is learned through also the hardships and tougher times that also the Ten of Swords point out to here. Because even though change can be good, and eventually even all the painful changes in my life that have been disastrous in the beginning, at the end I've always realized why it was necessary and how they have benefited my life and have actually been for the best. So here was my version of James's inner archetype spread. I really enjoyed doing it, and it was fun for me to get to try the Weaver's Oracle. I think the Ancestral Path is a bit easier for me to work since it's a tarot deck. But the Weaver's Oracle, it is special, and it takes time. It's not, for me at least, it's not a deck where I can just pull a card and expect to get something fast and easy. Rather, it takes a longer time to look at the guidebook, to read about it, and then find those things inside the book and inside the card and inside the archetype that speaks to me in this moment. And this time with the Nomad card, it ended up being this endless journey where you finally end up going home, and the book is beautifully written and really interesting. But I'm intrigued of finding new ways to work with this Weaver's Oracle. And if you have any great suggestions, if you have any spreads or videos or talking about how you've used the deck, just link them in the comment box and let me know. And I'm sure that I'm going to be searching also from YouTube, which I haven't done yet, because I always want to get my first ideas about the decks first. I don't want to watch too many videos before getting a deck, and I don't want to know too much. And when I get it, I like to get to know about it a bit and form my own opinion, and then I can start researching what other people have done, and then get good ideas and find more ways of using it. I hope you like this. If you have any suggestions for me, just pop a comment. And thanks, James, once again for creating an amazing spread. I really do love your spreads, and you know that, man. But this was fun again. And thanks everybody for watching. And if you want to try James's spread, go to his channel and watch his video about. I'll link it down below, where you can see how he really goes through this spread thoroughly. But until next time, again, bye guys.